Tyson who fought McGillian Mathis. Here's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laying it on, pouring it on. Down goes Bruno into the ropes.
A boxing match doesn't exactly start when the opening bell rings. It usually begins from the gym to the media rounds throughout the several weeks of preparation ahead of the fight. It cuts across devising your strategy, researching your opponents, identifying ways to exploit his weakness or weaknesses, and a whole lot more. Then it grows to the maximum when you meet your opponents face to face or while you make your way towards the ring. Mike Tyson understands this psychology in the best way possible and doesn't fail to seize the chance to intimidate his opponents, demoralizing them even before the fight begins in the ring. No one seems to do it like Iron Mike Tyson does. Mike Tyson's intimidating tactics are rooted in real emotions of anger and genuine confidence. He effortlessly struck fear into opponents right after the fight had been scheduled and continued the momentum to the center of the ring just before the referee signaled go time. Welcome to Greatest Boxing, and this is the Iron Mike Tyson's secret to beat all of his opponents.
I walk around the ring, but I never take my eyes off my opponent. I keep my eyes on him, even if he's ready and pumping. He can't wait to get his hands on me as well.
Mike Tyson won more than half of his battles long before the fight even started. A legend who graced the ring 58 times, securing 50 wins, 6 losses, and 2 no contests. Tyson embodied menace, a heavyweight dynamo with rippling muscles and boundless strength. Nicknamed Iron Mike, his very name struck fear into opponents, a psychological weapon accentuated by his 44 KO victories. This was reflected in his personality and influence, as the American professional boxer was regarded as the most feared man on the planet during his heyday. So, what do you think makes it easier for Mike Tyson to knock out a total of 24 opponents right in the first round? It was his strong aura, a powerful energy that radiated his opponents since the pre-match. And Tyson and his team capitalized on this a whole lot, creating an intimidating reputation for the boxer. Once his team packaged all of Mike Tyson's early knockout wins into a neat highlight and sent it to TV networks to play. Touché! So now, just imagine yourself. You have to fight in a few months against a man nicknamed Baddest Man, and you're watching him on TV, studying his techniques, his strategies, and you watching how fast and badly his opponents are falling to the canvas. Therefore, you start to sense his dominating presence exuding authority in the ring. What would you feel? What does your inner voice say in front of these images? Well, it was his aggressive force, the exact demoralizing effect that Mike and his team always look forward to achieving. And boy, did it work! Beyond all the PR stunts, the fighter also played a significant part. His quotes and death-threatening statements before and after his fights were also remarkable. One of his favorite sayings, "I aim for the tip of the nose and try to push the bone through their brain," paints him as a destroyer, which indeed he actually was. All of these strategies and tactics helped the American professional boxer win most of his battles even before he got in the ring. So, instead of making his opponents better prepared for what was to come, it actually sent fear down these guys' spines, imagining they were about to go into the ring with some great speed, power, agility, and precision. Someone you will struggle to control with your jabs because he can easily slip under those jabs and pound you mercilessly. Your chances are really slim. The perfect highlight of Mike Tyson's intimidating prowess was in his fight with Michael Spinks. Billed as Once and For All, the fight between Tyson and Spinks was the richest heavyweight fight at that time, where the two fighters were contesting for all 4 heavyweight championship belts. Before the game on June 27, 1988, both Mike Tyson and Michael Spinks were undefeated, with Tyson holding the WBA, WBC, and IBF belts, and Spinks regarded as the people's champion. A few minutes before the fighters were due to enter the ring, a slight pandemonium broke in the dressing room, where Spinks' manager, Butch Lewis, noticed a bump on Tyson's gloves and asked that the American rewrap his hands.
In the dressing rooms, a major controversy erupted. You're looking at a tape shot of Butch Lewis, the manager of Michael Spinks, who went wild after he discovered
Lewis wasn't willing to let go and insisted that the fight wouldn't happen if Iron Mike didn't unwrap and rewrap his fists. With the commotion delaying the fight, Tyson began pacing in the dressing room, obviously furious. In a moment of anger, Tyson punched the wall of his dressing room, creating a hole and a loud noise at the same time. The noise from the punch was so loud that Michael Spinks heard it in his own dressing room.
Standing there, he and Rooney's putting something on, he's punching holes in the wall. I'm like to myself, oh no.
Although unintended, that punch intimidated Michael, drilling fear and nervousness through the spine of the People's Champion. The fight would later continue after Michael's personal trainer, Eddie Futch, inspected Mike Tyson's left glove and confirmed that they were fine and the battle could begin. But the damage had already been done. Mike was furious as hell when Michael had become a scared cow approaching the slaughterhouse.
25, he will be the richest athlete in the history of the world if he keeps fighting and winning, but they want to break the contract.
Here comes.
Although wearing a brief smile as he walked into the ring, Michael Spinks was visibly nervous, looking as though he was walking into his own orchestrated doom. On the contrary, Mike Tyson ring walks convincingly and confidently, coming bare-chested and dripping with sweat amid the deafening drone noise he chose as his entrance music. Throughout his introduction, Mike's intimidation tactics seemed to have worked magic as Spinks continued to look nervous while Tyson paced around the ring. Spinks avoided all eye contact possible through the introduction as the referee called both fighters to the center of the ring for his last instructions. Soon, the fight began and it looked as though Spinks had been fighting 30 minutes earlier with how weak he appeared. Right from the opening bell, Mike Tyson continued to attack Spinks, driving him to the ropes and trapping him there with a barrage of punches.
Right through it. Tyson showing no fear, no respect. No fear and no respect by Tyson for any jabs or anything that Mike's ready to land a vicious left hook and then a right hand.
Spinks tried to slow Tyson down by clinching to him a few times, but that strategy couldn't keep him for too long as Tyson sent Spinks to his knees about 60 seconds into the fight, making it the second time ever the American was knocked down throughout his career.
Heavy landing in, but he's taking them. The uppercut, body shot, down.
As expected, Spinks returned to his feet soon enough before the referee's count was over, but not long after, Tyson dodged a Spinks right-handed punch and responded with a left-right combination to the head, sending Spinks to the canvas for good.
Here comes Mike Spinks in. He leads to the right hand. Down he goes. It's all over. Mike Tyson has won it.
A few chicken dances and staggers, but Spinks couldn't return to his feet, and the referee, Frank Cappuccino, ended the fight after just 91 seconds. Of course, Mike Tyson was great in the ring during the short-lived fight, but his victory began long before the opening bell rang.
Did you have any premonition that it would end this fast?
My trainer told me before I left, I bet both of our purses that you knock them out in the first round. So I thought he was serious to just...
The exciting and noteworthy part of the not-too-long interview was the way Mike Tyson chose his words and his body language while saying them. He exuded confidence, the type that sent some sort of message to his next possible opponent. Hey, you see how I did that? You'll be next. Those are the intimidation tactics we're talking about. Sleek and intentional.
And I looked at him, I was seeing his face and I saw the fear and I knew it was going to be a first round knockout. And if I would like to answer some questions if I can. Because on the head I get, and he wobbled a little. And I could see that, I heard him, but he tried to fight back. I knew it was either two things he could do. He could either be very scared, and, well, it was never easy. I put in 8 weeks of training to make it this easy. But it was never easy. If I would have never trained, it perhaps would have went 10 rounds or something. But that I put in 8 weeks, you know what I mean, I guaranteed.
That is precisely how Iron Mike operates. Intimidation at its peak. Okay, guys, we have now come to the end of this video.